Today's lesson is about how to pick a book that is just right for you. So we know that some people are better at certain things than other people. Like some people are really good runners, and some people are really good at playing the piano, and others are really good dancers. And we know that some people are better readers than other people, and that's okay. This year, we're all going to get better at reading. But to get better at reading, we have to read, and we have to read books that are just right for us. Ones that aren't too hard, but we don't want to pick ones that are too easy, because then we don't get better at reading. Okay, we don't push ourselves enough. So we're going to talk about that. Okay, I have several books in front of me now. So I started to read this book, but it's really long and it has a lot of really hard words in it. So I thought maybe it's just too hard for me. So I'm going to put this one aside, because maybe later when I get better at reading, I'll be able to read this one. Then I picked up this book to look at this book, because I've read this book before and I really like it, and I think it's funny. So I opened it up and I started looking at it, but you know what? These words are really, really easy for me. So it's okay to read this kind of a book sometimes, because you just think it's funny. But if you really want to challenge yourself at getting better at reading, it's better to pick books that aren't so easy for you, okay? So then I was looking around some more in my library, and I found this book. And so I started looking through the book, and it looked really interesting to me. It seemed like I was going to be able to relate to what was happening in the book. And there were some words that I weren't really sure about the meaning, but I was able to use context clues to help me figure out what they were. So I decided that this book was probably a just right book for me, because it's going to help me get better at my reading and challenge me a little bit. Okay, and I'll be able to understand it and know what's going on in the story, so it's not too hard for me. All right, so when you pick your just right book, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to understand it, and so it has meaning to you. All right, and then you're going to enjoy it. Now, it's okay to sometimes start a book, like maybe you thought you were really going to love this book, and you started to read this book and it seemed maybe a little too hard once you got into it, or you just weren't kind of enjoying the story, or you just weren't connecting to it. So it's okay to abandon a book sometimes if that happens, but usually you'll know if you're picking a book that you're going to be interested in. So I want you to think about this as we get more into Reader's Workshop. And when you're choosing a book, make sure that the book is a just right book for you, using all the things that I just talked about of how I chose a book that was right for me. All right, so I will see you in a little bit at our Google Meeting Live. Bye for now.